Today is Grand Rising. And welcome to Rise Up with Blooming Lotus. I am Danyelle Claxton, coming to you from Southfield, Michigan. Today is Monday, December 5th. And I know today's guest is the wonderful Rhonda Byrd. I want to say I've known Rhonda for years, almost as long as I've known Mama Het. Probably one of the few goddesses, the first goddesses that I've met on the scene, who I guess when I first met her, she just was a radiant of light and a wealth of knowledge, especially by her coming from the medical field. She had a wealth of knowledge coming from the medical field, being a nurse, going into holistic wellness. So it was kind of cool always talking to her because she had the holistic wellness and then she had the medical background to support everything that she was saying. So it was like, listening to her testimony about how she helped her son overcome, I believe it was Crohn's disease, if I remember, through the power of fasting, changing the diet, and essential oils. And she's also one of my essential oil young living partners. She is like me, multifaceted. So it's so many different layers that goes to this woman. It's not just one thing that I can say, okay, she just does this. Because in essence, she kind of does it all. She's a mom. She's a glam mama. I can't say grandma because look at her. She's a glam mama. And she's always just been, what is it, a beacon of light. And that sister you can always sit there and talk to about anything and everything. I know she leads goddess groups. She leads women on goddess journeys to find their inner selves. Am I missing something, Rhonda? Because I also know you're also into financial management with Primerica. Tell me if I'm missing something, because like I said, this is really going off the top of my head too. Like I don't have to.
No, I love it. I love it. We've been on this journey for quite a while. So first, I just want to thank you and Sheila and all of the wonderful Elizabeths that are on the platform for allowing me in this space because it's so needed in our community. So I want to thank you for putting this together, and I absolutely am honored to be a part of this today. But yes, Danyelle, you hit the nail. Every nail on the head. I started out in nursing and moved into educating physicians as a cardiovascular specialist, healed myself from breast cancer, healed my son from Crohn's disease. And really, that's when I was doing that work with my son. He was like, Mom, you got to do this for everybody. You can't just work with family. And so that's what created the business. But as life kept showing me things, as spirit kept saying, there's more to it. The health issues that people have come because health doesn't stand alone. Nothing that we do stands alone. Health, life, and wealth, what our ancestors call Ankh, Ouija, and Sunab, they work together. And when they're not working together, they work against each other. So if health isn't right, your money isn't right, your life isn't going to be right. And so that is the basis of my business. And that's the spaces that I operate in, helping people to actually find their divine assignment, operate in the passions and gifts that they've been given to since birth, and actually live in that life that they came here to live. So that's who I am. And thank you guys for having me on the call. I don't know where to start, but if you guys have questions in any of those areas, I'm open. I'm an open book.
Well, good. Hi, sweetie. How are you? It's good to see you.
Hi, Evelyn. It's so wonderful to see you too. It's been so long.
Yes. I want to you to tap into your financial brain. We have been learning about trusts and how they can work for us. And I thought of a question today, and here you are. My daughter and her daughter and and the baby's father, they are co-parenting, but they don't live together. But I was just wondering, because I'm bringing her into the fold of a trust, and it would be a good idea so that because we never know what's going to happen to us, and we need to, as difficult and as hard as it is to talk about what may happen, we need to talk about it. We need to plan for it. And so I was wondering, with a trust, if something were to happen to her, I think there's benefits for children who are underage, right? Can a trust dictate where that money goes, or can it go into the trust and be managed by the trustee? I don't know if you
Yeah,
know
so
that.
yep. So I love where you're going with this, but those are two things that work together. A trust works with a will. And
Okay.
so a living will is definitely very important. And unless you already have assets or wealth built, uh, an insurance plan is going to go along with that too. So the easiest way to build wealth is to rent it. And that's really what a life insurance policy is. You're renting wealth. You may give, maybe for, 200,000 or 300,000, and you may pay 50,000 over the life of that policy. So you're paying 50,000 in increments of maybe 30, 40, 50 bucks a month. But in the long run, you're only going to put 50,000 into it, but you're going to receive 300,000. So that's the first way to establish your wealth or your asset. And then the next thing you want to do is put together a will that is going to say and dictate what is going to happen with that money for your loved ones. It also includes in a will. Most people think it's just about money, but no, it also says what happens to that son. You said they're in a domestic partnership where they're sharing parenting duties. Or what happens if something happens to your daughter? Do you automatically get that son? No, not unless it's in a will. The state will give that baby to him, regardless if that's what she wanted or not. And so wills are more for what happens to your children
Mm-hmm.
than else anything else, because that's what's most important. The assets are important, but you don't want probate to come in. Probate's the same people that decide, when kids get taken from their parents because of other, neglectful situations, and the kids go with a foster parent when they have a perfectly good grandmother or aunt that they could be with. That's the
Mm-hmm.
state, and they don't make sense with a lot of things they do. So we don't want them involved. So that's really the importance of having a trust and a will. So they work together. Once you have the will put together, then a trust is established by, just like the word says, you need to trust someone to make sure that these things that you put in the will actually come to be. And a lawyer, a estate attorney is who puts that together. So I partner with several uh, state attorneys that can help you with that. And Evelyn, we can always sit down, and because everybody's financial situation is going to be different. I'm sure your question is answering or making some people think about some things that maybe they didn't think about. But everybody's situation is different. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you set up an appointment with me so that we can go over it and sit down with you and your daughter to see what she really wants to do, and we can put it in place. And it
Okay.
doesn't cost anything to put those things in place. Most people think it does, but it doesn't.
Okay. Thank you.
You are welcome, my love. You are welcome. So yes, I very much enjoy helping people with that foundation of finances. We really aren't taught this stuff in school. And how do you know how to create the life you want to live, or start that business, or do whatever you want to do, if you don't know how to take care of what you already have? We just don't. We have check to check, hustle to hustle, customer to customer, client to client. And that's still no better than working a job and, getting fired the next day. If you're not working it, that money doesn't come in, and we struggle. So
Mm.
let's leave that struggle and put some things in place for ourselves.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about now, is to change out. I'm ready. I'm ready to change my health style, I've been doing that over the years because I really work on it, but the financial, I've been resistant. And it's time. I don't want to be in this place of juggling, the phone bill and juggling the internet, and just I said, you know yeah, so
Yeah, I
sometimes
mean,
she was dad makes sense.
yeah. And most of the time people don't recognize your finances aren't coming through because they're the same blockages that rest in our childhood.
Mm,
How did mom and dad handle money? Those things land in your subconscious, and you operate out of that same space, whether they had wealth or not, whether you were in a household with both parents or not. Whatever those struggles were, that's in the back of your head. Remember going to the grocery store, mama said don't touch nothing. That makes us feel guilty when we go and we actually purchase something we want. And that guilt stays with us. That energy of guilt stays with us. So then it becomes, guilty eating or just guilty habits that all take away from our life force.
Speaking of
And
oh,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Changing. I get what you say. Well, how that feels with the trauma of what you can't get. I know one of the things that I've started since we got into the so-called recession, whatever that is. I know the inflation has made a huge difference because I go to the grocery store and I look like, what, I do the primary shopping for my household. So I'll be looking like, what the heck just happened here? But I remember my mom instilling, what is it? I've gone back to couponing, gone back to budgeting, gone back to couponing. Also finding out that a lot of these stores have sale dates. Some fruit markets actually have a sale on Wednesday because they get all the fresh produce on the Thursday. So it's the same fruit, just some is more fresher than the other, but the fruit is like almost half off on a Wednesday. So I'm like, okay, if I could figure out my schedule to go shopping on a Wednesday, I'll go get my produce on a Wednesday, knowing if I can't make it to Easter Market on a Saturday, knowing that this stuff is going to be half off on Wednesday because the new stuff comes in Thursday, or some stuff doesn't come in Thursday, it comes in Friday. So just going back to actually judge, seeing when stuff is in and what's on sale and going back to the sales pages and making that happen. I remember my mom was a master at that. And she was a master at couponing too, sitting there watching that bill go from like 200 to like 120. They don't coupon like that no more because they got hip to the extreme couponer. But I'm like, I find myself going back, budgeting and backing myself up that way.
That's great, Danyelle. Yeah, a lot of us are afraid of the word budget. We look at it as a limitation. We look at it as accepting that we don't, quote unquote, have enough. But there is no billion-dollar company in this world that does not have a budget. Everybody budgets that's wealthy. And so what is a budget? It's telling your money where to go before it tells you where to go. Because we don't pay ourselves first. That money comes in and we get a little bit of relief from the anxiety of paying the bills. We immediately go to making sure everybody else is taken care of. DTE is taken care of. Cable is taken care of. All the billion-dollar companies, they good. But me, I'm still broke because my money's telling me where it's going to go. So when you talk about budgeting, the first thing you need to budget is yourself. How much do I need to save for my goals, for these passions that are in my heart, for this business I want to start, for this trust I want to put together for my grandson? How much of that do I want to start putting away? And it might just be $10. But I have investments that are $25 a month that in 30 years, you'll have 1.5 million. But we aren't taught that. We think that, okay, I don't have anything to save. I need it all for the bills. No, you need it for you. And you need to start telling your money what to do instead of it telling you what to do. So budgeting is how to do that. And to get away from that budget word that makes everybody cringe, I like saying control your cash flow. You got flow coming in. Money's energy. Because again, everything we do is metaphysical. And money flows in, you let it flow right back out. But you have control over the channel as to where it flows. Make it flow to where you need it to. So very good. And going back to couponing and saving and maybe also, share with that.
I have a what you call it? God, my cash flow. I can't find it because it's in my desk and I can't get to it. But it's a cash flow. It's a journal. It's a sister named Anitra Hall, and I hope to have her on the show. And she created this really cool looking planner. It's a financial planner. And I swear she made finances fun for me. I can sit down with my coffee on a Sunday with my stickers and I can go over my budget. I used to be afraid of numbers. And unfortunately, because my creative brain is always going, a simple notebook like this doesn't work for me. So she's got the shopping. She's got this is what your bills are every month. This is what your debt is. I mean, I could sit there for an hour with a green candle and some money and oil and like I'm gonna incorporate it all. I like if I let me incorporate. Let's stop trying to separate everything. And it's like we know little money magic principles. I will put on a money magic meditation on, light my green candle, have my incense going, and I'm sitting there and I'm going over my finances. Me and my partner will go over our partner finances, what needs to be done for the house. These are conversations I used to be afraid of, and now I look forward to it once a month. When is the budget plan? When is the when are we doing this? Because now I'm excited about it, and I'm like, oh, I saved this much money. I used to not be a saver. Oh, I got this much money saved. And like, it's like, how much money can I save now? What do I not need to buy versus what do I need to? And like, it's when you start incorporating everything all together, it's less daunting. Like, oh my God, it's not, strictly financial. No, make this
It's life. It's life, which is why I do what I do in all aspects. And so really being able to see yourself in all of those spaces. Yes, get your candle. Yes, do your manifestation work. Yes, do your ritual work, but also have a practical plan. What are you budgeting for? How much money do you actually need to save? Once you got the planner, what do you do with it? And I have planners, and I have to say I work with a lot of people, and not everybody works well with a book. Some people need those automatic payments too, so that they just don't think about it, because we want to spend, because that's where we at. I love to spend. I'll be the first one to tell you everything I do is on auto, because
I have automatic payments, and I want to sit here and celebrate. My furniture is paid off. I am so
congratulations.
Opie and I looked, and it was like, wait a minute, this is paid off. We didn't get a notification that it was paid off, and I was looking like, well, now unfortunately my account went into the negative, but I don't have that bill every 2 weeks to come up. It's paid off, and I'm like, I'm celebrating that that's paid off. Like, yes, now I have to restructure my budget because I no longer have that $160 some odd coming out of my account every month. Now, what other debt? Because we got debt. Where can I use that money? The celebration's not over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like,
and where are you lacking that you got a negative account? So let's talk about that, because all of us slip into that too. And it's great to have things paid off, but let's look at what aren't we doing on that other end so that we don't keep falling into those spaces too.
I'll be honest with you. The way that my current pay structure is right now, it's like 1/3 is actually deposited. The other third, I'm now getting paid in cash. So for me, it's the simple fact I'm not getting to the bank fast enough to deposit that cash into the bank. And it's just a little difference of how I'm getting paid for, let's say, right now. So I know where I slipped up, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna adjust for that. But yeah, I'm like, okay, that's the difference. It's there. The income is just the way that it's coming in right now.
The commitment to make sure it gets to the bank is the issue. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So again, that's what we want to tap into. Where are those spaces where there are gaps in what we're doing? And so that comes back to really having that union with self, and really be honest and authentic with self, with where are those spaces? Is it in health? Maybe it's not just finances, because we take care of finances, but maybe it's in health. Maybe I'm not committed to getting up doing my yoga every morning. So those areas, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So maybe the money's not right because you haven't made that shift in your mind to get up and take care of self every morning.
Can it be as simple as, I remember once I got a sister telling me that how you organize your bills in your wallet is a simple relation, or how you have your bills and your cards in your wallet has a simple relationship to how you handle manage money. Like if you're the type to just throw money in your purse and everything is not managed and organized, then you can look at your bills and your budget and realize that everything's not organized. Or are you the type of person that has the bills freshly lined up in the wallet, and when you take out your debit card, you put it right back in the slot where it belongs? I was like, whoa. I was the type I used to just, I didn't realize.
Yeah, that can be powerful, but it also can be OCD, and it could also be trauma related. So there's not one fix. It's just recognizing where your spaces are that you have weaknesses, and being able to be honest with yourself about them, and being able to look at yourself and find where those blockages is. Because once again, how you do one thing is how you do everything. It could be relationships, how you handle your men. It's all women here. How we handle our men is how we handle our money. If you letting toxic men in your life, you got a toxic wallet too, and toxic habits, toxic spending habits, and your bills aren't paid. I mean, it all works together. So it's not one thing. There's no one magic button. We all have our different issues. We all come from different levels of love and trauma because we all experience both, and they show up differently for all of us. And so that's why I don't just focus on finances. I don't just focus on health. I focus on the whole person and what you actually have going on individually. I'm actually doing a program called the Union of the Self, where we're going to tap into all of those spaces where the passions that live inside of you that may be dormant because life has showed you that if you pursue them, you won't reach them. You know, whether it be having my budget together so I don't have a negative account, or whether it be having my health together so I don't have high blood pressure anymore, or whether it be I have a healthy relationship. Or is it, hey, everything's working and I can create the life I want to live and wake up to this every morning?
You know what? I'm coming. I'm making a plan to just come down there and spend a
Come
weekend.
down, have a weekend retreat with me so we can do this work.
Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm like, ever since you moved, when you post those sunrises and everything, and it's like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. And first of all, let me say that I'm glad that I'm at a point where I could just be like, okay, I'm coming down there. Let me figure out what weekend I can just catch a flight and just, because I said my relationship with money, oh my God, it was just, it's still a journey. I would say that it's still a journey, but coming from where I was to where I am now, I'm just like, well, and you're right, because we're not taught these principles. We're not taught this stuff. It's like, go, I'll get a job and then you'll figure everything out. And it's like, okay, something's missing. Something is missing. Huge.
Yeah. And life is always telling us what's wrong. We just don't recognize that it's the universe speaking to us. No matter what it is, we're always getting the same message. That's why I said we look at everything. We look at your love life. We look at your relationships with your family, your children, your mother, your father. We look at your environment. We look at your habits on social media. We look at everything. And of course, your money, the bank account. It all speaks to you. And if everything's flowing, because nobody's got it all right and nobody's got it all wrong. We know those times when we're up and everything's right. We feel good. The money's good. You got clients coming in. It's pop, 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 pop. Let's do this. And then it falls off. What makes it fall off? What do we let get in our head to shift us? What pulled us off center? And what do I need to get back? Think about eating right. How many times we fast and then get it going for the 2-3 weeks after the fast. And then right after that, we go have, that chicken dinner with all that sauce on it and a glass of wine. And then we off the fast, we back to regular.
This is so beautiful. This is beautiful. I mean, because it's really true. Everything is connected. I love that. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, if you're interested, my website is Be Forever Well, BE4 EVERWELL. If you click the link, it's the first picture. It says the union picture is there. You'll see a woman and all the different facets of her. Just click that. And you can apply by answering a questionnaire. It's going to ask you all of these types of questions that we're talking about. And then the session is free. We can decide how we can help you and get you on track. And most of all, give you tools so you don't keep needing a program or a person, or just give you the tools that you always have so that when there's hiccups, okay, this is what I need to do to get back on track. Because life happens. We all know. Everybody here is over 40 or at least close to it. Life happens. There's no perfect life. This sunshine don't pay my bills.
Danyelle, can you put that in the chat?
Yes, I can put it in the chat. It's like I'm gonna be forever transparent. Like, I was stuck out of a lack mindset for so long, just because I didn't know how to budget and how to get everything out. That to the point when I finally got, a year ago, got good, life happened. And I'll be honest, I got myself into 2 predatory loans, and I'm like, I'm not happy about it. But the fact, one, I was happy that I even qualified, because it used to be a time I didn't have the credit to qualify, which is not a good thing to say. But in the same vein, when the emergencies happen, it's like, okay, at least let me just have this wiggle room to breathe. And then everything kept changing around it. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm getting out of this. I'm sitting down, writing a plan to get completely out of it. And to set myself up so that when an emergency happens, I have an emergency cash to go to, not these predatory loans. Because that interest rate is ridiculous. I'm learning it right now. I'm sitting here like, okay, now what can I do to get out of this? Because I'm like, you know what? I don't want to get back in this again. And this is just me being fully transparent. Like I said, it used to be a time I couldn't get qualified. So I'm like, whoa, the mere fact that I have a car note right now is shocking to me. And I'm like, I've had a car note for the last 3 years. I used to be afraid of having a car note. And once I got my mindset out of that, at one point in time, I actually had a check specifically that was coming to me, income that was specifically coming to me that was specifically for my car note. And it was so cool because I'm like, okay, this is for this service, this check is paying for that. And then when I also learned about refinancing, like, oh, you get a car, your credit go up, refinance that car, get a lower car note. And I'm like, I got a lower car note, and I still kept that money that was coming in to go towards specifically for that car. Now I'm restructuring my life. Life has happened. Spirit is shifting me to me being, within my own businesses. So now I'm looking at my businesses. Okay, which one of y'all, we got to get back to having that one check or that one entity paying for that car note, because that was a beautiful thing to have that income. My other income was taking care of the rest of my bill. This one income was just taking care of that. So I'm like, come a long way from, oh my God, I can't afford a car note. I'm scared. I look forward to the 16th. Like, okay, here, like, because my car is part of my business. It gets me to where I got to go. So I'm like, why wouldn't I want to have a newer, not so much that it's newer, it's the fact that I'm not driving a, what is it, hoopty no more. I ain't got to worry about the
you don't have to worry about it breaking down. Exactly. You tapped on two things. The first thing was an emergency fund, and the second thing was multiple streams of income, even though you didn't say it that way. I just want everybody in the group to grasp what you're sharing. An emergency account is number one. When I set my financial clients up, you have 3 accounts. You have an emergency account, you have a short-term savings account, and you have a long-term savings account. And these are outside of your everyday checking account. Mm-hmm. So when I was talking to you about not having things set up so that you don't have the quote unquote negative balances, it's because you have one account that's just for bills. And you know that account is set up so it needs this amount of money for for these amount of bills. And so then you have an emergency account that slowly grows. Once again, I'm using small numbers. You can start with $25 a month. And after a year or 2 years, you have 1 to 2 months or even 3 to 6 months worth of savings there. So if you lose your job, if you don't have your hustles coming in for a couple months because it's winter and everybody's not focused on on spending money, everybody's trying to shop for the holidays or whatever goes on in the winter, most of us realize that that's when our money kind of dries up. And if you have a hustle, your hustle dries up then too. But if you have that emergency fund, that emergency account, you live off of it for those 1 or 2 months until you get back into the groove and doing things. So you're never left at that lack space. And lack mindset is where a lot of us find ourselves being in fear. I'm not going to get a car note, or I'm not going to have this bill because I don't want it to be repossessed. So, but let's think about that. And I'm not picking on you, Danyelle, but it's an excellent example. Let's think about how we've been programmed. I'm not going to get what I need because I'm afraid it's going to be taken away. Mm-hmm. Where's that come from? Mm-hmm. That comes all the way back from that's that post-traumatic slave stuff. Mm-hmm. We're afraid that they're still going to take it from us, and not trusting source, not trusting spirit's going to provide, not trusting those ancestors. Again, coming full circle. That's why it's important that we put all of these things together and do all of the pieces of work that we know. You can go to all of the programs you want and learn all the rituals, learn all about the crystals. But if you're not doing the work, It's not going to help us. We have to put it all together, including the knowledge of finances and how the system works. We can't just be against it. We got to actually understand how it works so that we can use it to our benefit.
I'm also going to say, when asked, when asked what it is, how much, I was funny, how much I wanted to spend on my car. I know at the time, I said, you know what? I don't want to go no more than 300-400. I don't want to go past 400, period. And just knowing exactly, knowing, being real with yourself, knowing what you can afford. And I know what it is, because I have friends that had bad credit. They got super ridiculous interest rates on their cars because of their credit. And then I'm hearing people talking about they're paying $600 for a simple car. I don't understand why. And then the insurance was like $600. So I'm not sitting there like, that's a lot. And then, but when I got educated on that's not everybody experiences, and really educated on how to maximize getting what I need and actually staying within my means, I was like, oh, I got it now. I got it now. That's why when I'll be honest, my car note was originally $410 when I first got it. A year of paying the bill, my car note on time. What is it? My mate was like, well, let's talk about refinancing. Where refinance went from 400 to 300. I'm happy. I'm like, ooh, a little cheaper rate. Got an extra 2 months note on the note on the, and then that's when I learned, oh, you get extra time. Or if sometimes having communication with these people, if something happens and you are late, some of these places, I didn't know that they have like a 10-day grace period. I was like,
oh. They do, and you could put that whole month at the end.
Yes, I learned that. You don't want to do that all the time, but if you need to, you can.
Right. So I want to just tap into what you said about how much you had. You didn't want to go more than 400. People, we are the ones in control. So when you go to a dealership, they are there to serve you. You are the queen. Walk into a space, you are the queen. This is what I want. This is how much I want to pay for. And this is what I'm going to get when I leave here. And if you don't do it, I'm going to go to the next dealership and they're going to do it for me. Yes. But once we can have that mindset out of lack and in that space of abundance, then you can have the things that you want. You can manifest the life that you want to live. Mama had said new cars can break down too. They sure do. That's why you also negotiate a full-fledged warranty before you walk out of there. Because all of my oil changes, if anything breaks down, everything is included in my car note that I also started off paying $350, so almost $400 a month for my Lincoln.
Yeah. And also, when you talk about that too, you also have to think about the maintenance of the car as well, because a lot of
all of that's included. When you get a new car, you don't have to worry about any of those things because that's included. But again, we're not taught that. We just think that it's an expense. I don't want to have to pay for all that, and we step into that lack space instead of recognizing everything that you want is at your fingertips. You just go out with that confidence, and it'll be yours. The other thing, because we still on the emergency fund, the second thing you talked about was having money specifically for your car note. That is wonderful, Danyelle. And that is what multiple streams of income are for. I have Young Living, Danyelle and our business partners. Young Living pays me $200 a month. I do absolutely nothing with it. Nothing. It pays my phone bill, plus a little extra. So I don't worry about my phone bill. You always need several hustles, whatever they are, whether it be a wellness, TLC, you're with TLC now too, right? Danyelle, am I correct?
No, I'm Tava.
Tava, okay. So whether it be a Tava or a TLC, whatever it is, that's in that space where your passion is, wherever spirit has led you to be able to help people, follow it, and it will bring you what you're looking for, and you'll be able to use it in ways that you didn't even think of.
Yeah, my Tava card, the money that comes, the commissions I get from Tava, I barely touch it. And if I do touch it, I'm reinvesting into product for the business. So I think that's really cool. So it's like I save it, and if they come out with a sale, it's half off. I'm like, you know what? I got the money right there to pay, to have whatever I need to keep the money flowing, keep things moving. And I think that's so cool. Like I said, I'm proud of myself. I'm a long way from being scared to even touch finances, like, period. Still got a long way to go. I got to get these accounts. And I'm glad we're having this conversation right now, because in addition, we're learning that we need to get our businesses and LLCs and business accounts and separate business money from personal money, and then just breaking everything else down. I'm really committed to the first 3 months of 2023 to just stacking. You know what I'm saying? I'm not buying anything new. I'm not doing anything. I'm just going to stack and get my money right. And I saved money during the pandemic. That was the first time I ever saved money and had, commas in savings accounts. It was like just sitting there. Like, okay. And when there was an emergency that happened, and I had the money there to take care of it. That felt great. You know what I'm saying? When it came
That
time
is good.
so yeah, it's almost like I have to make it a game for myself. I have to make it fun. So
Yeah.
at one point, and I'm getting back to this, I took 20% of whatever my check was, and 20% went into savings. I had 2 savings accounts, and it just 20.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. And we have a couple of women moving into that crown space. We got to think about what happens when we can't work no more. What have you set up for your retirement? Where is that money that's going to pay you when you're not working? So both us that are younger and those that are older, there are also accounts that you could set up that work as self-funded pensions that'll pay you in your retirement years, so that you can get you a little place in, Florida or North Carolina, or right there in your backyard in the house you've lived in for 30 years, and have money coming in and not have to worry about your bills anymore, not have to worry about hustling anymore. Because we often don't start thinking about that until we hit 50. And then it's like, oh, wow, and then wasted all this time. But you still have time. It's just easier, and your money grows better if you do it sooner. I don't know if you guys understand how interest works outside of us having to pay them. But if you have an account that has a 9 or 12% interest rate, in 6 years, your money doubles. Every 6 years, your money doubles. If you have 24%, every 3 years, your money doubles. That also works against you. If you got a credit card that you're using and they charging you 24% for, in 3 years, they didn't charge you double of what you've paid for it. And they keep charging you while you keep paying those minimums. So that's why we get rid of those cards and pay. If you can't afford to pay it off in a couple of months, then you don't need to have it. You need to save for it, because it doesn't make sense to pay for it 3 or 4 times dealing with these credit card companies. So again, understanding how the system works, we can make it work for us and put your money in places where it's going to grow for you. Just like they take your money, you put your money in the bank. I don't know. Let's say you go to Fifth Third. Let's say you do Chase. Chase got credit cards. You put your $1,000 in there, they're giving that $1,000 to the next person, charging them 24% interest on your money. How much they give you back? 35 cents in your account, right? How much they make on that card? Thousands. Let's start going in and doing the same thing that the banks do. Let's learn how this system works and make it work for us, so that we don't have to be stressed out and sick because we don't know what to do and don't have the resources.
Yeah, I feel like everybody's wheels is turning here. I see you, Queen Aduni.
I can hear them too.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that the techniques are wonderful, and but I think one of the I know, because I'm speaking about myself, is the discipline, and so the fear comes from, am I delivered from the way I do things? So that if I buy a car, will I start off, okay, paying, and then in time go back to those other ways, and then, have the experience. So it's like that fear of that coming, don't want to deal with it. So, you want to just deal with all cash, which it limits you, especially when you don't have that cash flow coming in. So it's like, for me, is having to deal with myself, my tendencies, and being free from that, so that I know with certainty that that area of my life is in integrity. So then I can make that commitment and know that I'm not going to falter with that.
Yes. Yes, I just want to send you light right now. And if you guys can all join me, just wrapping our sister with light right now as she shares herself and being vulnerable in the space around how she feels about her finances, because that is where the work comes in to free you so you can live without those limitations, because it's something from childhood. It's something in the subconscious that is holding you there. Something has happened. You may or may not even know what it is, but that's the work that we do. That's the behind the scenes, the subconscious work that we do. The program that I have takes 3 months to get through. I have various phases within it. The first thing is we get ready for this detox of emotional baggage.
Yeah.
Then there's a space where we release it. We recognize what those things are. There are different things that I take my clients through to help them to see themselves. We dig into the past. We dig into childhood wounds. We dig into traumas. We dig into molestation. We dig into fathers not being there. We dig into bad mothers. I mean, it's all there. There's trauma in all spaces. We dig into going to school and being picked on. We dig into just not having self-love because nobody ever loved me, so I don't even know how to love myself. All of those things.
Yeah.
Because, go ahead.
I went to the last time that we had, this was years ago, but I had to go to for bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're going through, my husband and I are going through that conversation, I ended up, in tears. And and the lawyer is like, why are you crying? You're free from this. And it was that it wasn't about, being free from that. It was like, why am I here again? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
And I was spiritually, being taught about, being responsible, being a good steward.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am again, wiping something out and not paying, living up to my promise. And he didn't understand it, but it was a letdown for me. And it was like, I haven't gotten through this shit yet. I haven't been delivered totally from this yet. And then having to make choices of, I'm just going to deal with cash. I'm not going to deal because I don't ever want to be here again. So yeah, I got some things that I need to get free from. And in order, I am so sorry to be.
No, don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry.
Go
Again, that's
ahead.
why I first asked everyone just to hold you, because that vulnerable space is why we're here. We wrap you in love. You know that.
And then Queen of Duty, you're such a reflection of me. Like, I'm just sitting here like listening to you and I'm like, yeah, I thought 2020, 21, I thought I had it together. I thought I was on my way. I'm doing good. And then all of a sudden life changed, and I really could sit here and beat myself up for getting myself into a situation with these loans. I really could, but I'm not, because I'm like, two things. One, there's an
Queen, if I can just jump in there, Queen, it's okay. I don't want us to take the energy away from her and where she is right now. I want to stay here with you because we love and support you. And it's okay, because healing doesn't happen wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, and it's all over. Healing happens in cycles and in spirals. We spiral up as we learn those lessons. Where you are right now, you were not there at that bankruptcy. You recognized it, but you weren't ready to say, let me go back and see where I messed up. You just was in probably a state of shock. Okay, I'm gonna just do this cash thing. That's how I'm gonna fix it. But that's a Band-Aid. And now you recognize that the cash thing was a Band-Aid. And so it's a different level of understanding and recognizing who you are and where you are and what you want moving forward. And once you can know where you've been and you know where you want to go, then we can do the work to get you there. So it's okay. Repeating patterns happen because the universe is always telling us where we need to do the work always.
I just
Helen,
want to chime
Wells.
I just want to chime in. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I just want
Hey,
to chime in too because, hey, baby, a lot of times we may revisit a situation because there are different aspects of it that we need to learn.
Yep, more healing.
So one may be A, and then next time you see it, maybe B. That's why we go in there. But we eventually go from being a circle and cycle into a spiral, like Rhonda said, because now you're gathering information and learning. Because one of the things that I wanted to share is that, as we're meandering through this life, we get money so that we can spend it. Why do we think that? Why do we think that we need the latest and greatest outfit? When you want an outfit, yes, go get it. Go look in that closet and see how much crap. I mean, I love those things, boy, but so much stuff in this closet that you don't wear. You got stuff in there. Oh, I'll wear it next. You ain't wear that stuff in 3-4 years. Why is it still sitting there? Why are we always wanting to build? Think about this. I'm tired of building everybody else's empire. What about mine? What about the one that I want to have? Gucci you can't go to one of Gucci's 5 homes and resort there. You can't get on their planes, even though you are an investor. So all of this stuff we want to have. And when do we get into a place where we don't fix things anymore? Oh, let me just get a new one. You didn't take care of the first one. It's probably gonna again, that's that cycle. You didn't take care of the first car. Now you're gonna get a new one. Are you gonna maintain and do the oil and make sure that the tires are rotated and new tires and are we gonna do that, or are we gonna still get a new car with the same habits? All this, I want to get more stuff. What's the more stuff for? Is it building you? Does it bring you joy? You need to let that stuff go.
How about, and I'm gonna piggyback on what you said, Mama Het. How about also finding new ways? How can I say, if you're gonna get something new, get rid of it. Get rid of the old stuff. Get rid of the old. Swap out. Prime example, I got a brand new iPhone 14 because not 14, I got 13, but I got it because I'm doing more social media. I need better tech to do what I need to do. I recycled my old phone, got a nice value of $200-300 off recycling my old phone to go towards the new phone. Instead of paying full price for the new phone, basically I think I paid like less than half of what the new phone would have been, because I was smart enough to be like, okay, the resale value of this is this much. Apple gonna give me this much amount. And then I got this discount for right here. We got to start thinking smarter. Why do we have to pay full price for everything? Why is it full price? My Vitamix that I got is refurbished. I'm proud. I have no shame again. At the time that I got, I could afford a refurbished Vitamix, not a brand new one. That bad boy still got a warranty on it, and it's going to be working for the next 20 years. So my thing is, my car is not brand new. My car is used. Why does everything have to be brand spanking new? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
But we all go through that cycle where we feel, we get in a place where we feel bad because of the decisions we make. No, you made a decision because that's what you need to do. And
that's where you were.
Compare ourselves to others. Yeah, and compare ourselves. No, if you really look at it, the folks, listen, there are many folks that have all these cars and houses and they're freaking miserable.
Miserable and can't pay for them. That's the other thing that most people don't recognize. Because I sit with them. They can't enjoy them. They stressed out and then they get sick.
Right, exactly. And then they gone. So then,
right.
So what's
and
that? So Queen, please know that you're not alone. You're not alone.
Not at all.
Listen, I don't know. Y'all don't know my situation, but I'm smiling and I'm happy. I like the way I'm operating. It does need to get better. I used to be better at things, and then I looked at the world in a different way. I'm like, you know what, this is really screwed up. Because I'm gonna say this, in all honesty, one time I finally decided, let's go ahead, be a grown up, go ahead and get in the another stock, but it was some kind of financial that I've been avoiding. And as soon as I got into the market crashed, I was like, see, this is that bullshit. But investigate, like Rhonda said, learn the game. You have to learn the game so you can play the game like they do, because they're using, like you said, they're using our money
to play the game,
to loan other people, and then they tell you can't get, they won't loan and you can't get none. Exactly. But you're the one who's funding this beast.
And right now is the best time to get in the game. with this recession going on because everything is so,
right. But look at this.
Buy
We
cheap,
can like
sell
play
high.
again. Here we go with Christmas. They say that we don't matter no time for the other year, but in Christmas, it's our billions of dollars that fund that make that, you know, they say, wow, look at all the black dollars. They told us we didn't have none, and now we're all the black dollars. That's
Yeah, I put a
money
post
for Christmas.
about that. I
And
posted
this
that.
credit card.
You know,
We're
Lord,
number
we don't
3 in the
need
world. Did y'all
Exactly.
know that? We number 3 in the world as far as wealth. Black Americans are the 3rd wealthiest race in the whole freaking world. And everybody knows it except us.
Yep.
Mm.
We the reason why Gucci is in 5 different countries. We the reason why Nike, blah, 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 blah.
Mercedes-Benz too. You know, don't nobody else buy Benz. It's not a symbol of wealth to nobody but Black Americans. They cabs in Europe.
Child, cab, taxi cab.
Taxis in Europe. They nothing. But yeah, that's the whole thing about the buying new and being we focused on image, and it goes back to our ancestors. We've always communicated and described ourselves through our clothes, our dress, our hair, our colors. That's who we are, but it's been used against us.
Yes.
It's been used against us. And coming back to Queen, being a good steward, it happens in small increments. So we would tackle being committed to other parts of your self-care. And once you can be committed to different parts of you, your money will come. It'll become easier, but you have to see it in small parts. If I can do this every day, if I can take care of this part of my life, then I can take care of this other part of my life. And that's where confidence builds. Just like think about our kids when we raising them. We got all the answers for our babies. When they learn how to walk, we show them where to go, and here you go. Come on, you can do it. And then we give them a little bit more to do. Then we get, it's the same for us with everything. Everything.
We got you. Even if it's a penny, we can put a penny a day away. You know, one thing that helps make money. Yeah, but let me tell you, that change, and when you go somewhere and spend some money and have change left over, that jar right there, that changeover jar it's amazing.
You know what? I have a 5-gallon water bottle, money jar. Like it had a leak in it. But I'm curious. This is empty, but is this not it? It's in the bedroom. But I'm like, I'm curious. Can I fill this up? Yes, and if I do, how much this gonna be? I've watched the YouTube videos and people be having like $5,000 worth of change. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just see what happens. So I have a money jar at the door so that when I come in, I clean that up. We put the money there, and then I transfer that over into the what is it? Into the one in the bedroom. Like we just gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah. And that's a great way to take nothing, because we look at it as nothing. If it wasn't for that jar, you would have threw it away. It's a great way to take nothing, put it to an account again that you don't pay no attention to, and just let it. If it's 5,000 in that gallon thing, think, okay, I got 5,000. And in 3 years, it's gonna be 10,000. In 3 more years, it's gonna be 20,000. And 3 more years, it's gonna be 40,000. That's how white people build wealth. That's why we don't know nothing about it, because we don't know, where can I put my money to make it double? And Apple, because they money doubling, because we all buying their phone.
Cash out. Now cash out. Sometimes they have this thing where you could fractionalize a share. So you may not have.
I don't want to talk about fractional. That's for us. They built that for us.
Well, you know what? Let's feel like this.
Having a half of a penny, when you could take your penny and go get a whole penny and let that whole penny grow, is I cringe at Acorn, because it is something for us to think that, okay, we doing something with wealth. It's not. Take that same money that you're willing to put in Acorn and get your whole share. Don't get a half of a half of a half because you think you're not worthy of the whole thing. Get the whole pie. We got to get out of that space of we don't deserve it all. We deserve it all.
We funded it all.
That's right. It's our money. We the 3rd wealthiest in the world. Why we need a half of a share? No. So I'm sorry, but I have strong views about that. I have a lot of clients that come to me saying, I've been investing in Acorn. I put $25 in there. I got $30 now. But that same $25 could be $150. in the same amount of time that you had it in this little stupid account that they got us putting our money in, and they do what they want to with it and give us a piece of it. It's crazy. I'm sorry, but I don't like that they set us up for failure in every space. And we fall for it.
You know, a lot of people didn't really like, you know, they were, you know, we were talking about the crypto. And I would tell people, you invest in stock and you don't really know what's in stock. You don't know how that game works. Why not didn't they say put pennies in different places, not just all one place?
Yes. Don't put your money in all one basket, not at all.
I had to do some car repairs, and I actually had money that I made on crypto. I only put $50 in there. I had enough to get 4 tires done and get my car repaired.
Yeah, crypto is one space.
I'm not talking.
Stocks are another. Mutual funds are another. Self-funded pensions are another. 401ks, IRAs. It's so many different ways. And when I say multiple streams of income, yes, you can have different jobs and different hustles as your multiple streams. You can also have multiple streams of money just sitting somewhere growing in crypto. In a Roth IRA. Roth IRAs are tax-free. Bet you didn't know that. Government won't touch your money. You can put your money there. You don't have to worry about nobody touching it. It just grows because they said so. They said they ain't touching it. They don't touch it. It was something they made for themselves. So let's use the stuff that they made for them.
Hello?
So it's lots of resources out here. Again, if you have passions in your heart and you want to make changes, it starts in that space to want to make the change and to see where you want to go. And if you got the passion and the desire and the gifts to get there, sometimes you just need a little structure. I'm a double Virgo, rising and sun. So all I got is structure all day, and an Aries moon. I got the fire to push you through it.
And projectors. Look, and we projectors.
And projectors. And look, and my Aries
Queen
is
a projector too. Yeah.
So,
and see that information, even learning about that's why I said a lot of people, you know, they shy away from certain things, but these things will help you understand how stuff flows.
Yes, that's what that divine
knowing your chart will help. Like, I'm not this, but I am that. I'm weak here. That's why we have people that come into our ciphers that help us. Like the Elizabeth. Rhonda's here. We have Jacqueline. We have Rhonda. And what was the other young man's name that was on Tuesdays? What was the gentleman's name who taught us about trust?
Oh, Ken Harrison.
So we got Ken, and we got multiple streams of help.
That's right. That's right. And again, like I was saying, that divine union space that I've created is for that. It's for understanding all the parts of you. On a metaphysical side, understanding that you're a projector. Y'all just heard us spell it all out. I know who I am because of those things. And I've been able to see what my weaknesses are. And that's what helped me. You reach out to somebody that has your weakness. You know what my weakness is? Having fun. You know who my fun friends are? Geminis. I love a Gemini. This air signs. Let's go do whatever. Cause I can't plan it. I have to work. They'll be like, come on, let's go. Okay. But when it comes to structure, make sure things get done, I got that. I'm your girl for that. But if you need to know that about yourself, why can't I make this happen? Why can't I? It's okay. That's not your wheelhouse. Knowing yourself and unifying who you are will help you to be able to say, okay, I'm not so good with this. Maybe I should go get help instead of trying to do this all by myself. And this is not just with money. I'm talking about anything in your business, period.
Hair, hard work, you know.
Yeah.
We got everything we need. We have everything we need. If it's not in-house, we can push a button and call or find or identify and locate.
That's right. That's right.
This the last lack day. This the last lacking day.
That's right.
And in your morning pages, you write about stuff that you're working on, baby. I'm telling you, it'll come. I'm telling you, change your mind.
Use it all. Use it all. All of the gifts that you have, the metaphysical resources, the rituals, the knowledge of self, you have to use it all. And like I said, that's what that divine union program that I have is for. It helps you put it all together so that whatever you're trying to do makes sense on the other end. And it's all connected. So it's all going to come back to you. It all comes back to you.
Okay.
We didn't know how to walk when we got here. Look at us now.
Right.
We pushing
No, right? Or drive a car.
That's what I tell my babies. You can always start over. We can say today and start over right now. We can start over.
Every day, one thing I learned from Landmark is every day is a new day. It's a blank page to write that chapter, to write that chapter. Every day.
To write your story.
Write your story, to write it out. It hasn't been created. So we are all, what is it, manifestors? We are all creatresses. We are creators. So you can create that which you want, create that which you need. And it took me a long time to actually step into that power and realize that, like, wow, you know, if it's not the way that I want it, it's because I didn't create it. And
that's a fact. That's a fact. That's powerful. If it's not the way I want it, it's because it's not the way I created it. We have to own that. And that gives you power to be able to create it moving forward. So, yeah.
I'm writing that down. It's because I didn't create it. So go ahead, Mama Evelyn.
So Rhonda, if we want to talk to you about the financial, what is it we need to write down or make a list of and to go over? So
basically what you're trying to create, what we just said.
Okay.
And then the rest, I'll fill in the blanks because, I'll know how to get us there. But what are you trying to create? What is the passion that you have around whatever it is? And what you were talking about, creating a legacy is basically where you're at. You're at legacy building at this stage. And I don't know what the gentleman shared with you guys about trust, but that's like the last piece of the legacy building. You have to have it built to have it in a trust. It doesn't, if you don't have anything to have someone entrusted with it, it doesn't serve you. You have to build the wealth to have the trust. So I can put my appointment link in the chat. I put my website for anyone who wanted to go in and potentially wanted to go into the Divine Union program, but I put a link to my calendar.
I have to say, for those artists, I don't believe in retiring, but I do see where you're coming from. The multiple streams of income to to make things easy. I was doing okay, but I could do much better. We're getting a raise in our Social Security. $74. Thank you very much. I'm so over and done with depending on that. But I do feel that I deserve it I do believe it's mine.
Yeah, most definitely. You worked for it. You definitely work for it. And I don't believe in retirement either. I think that was something, once again, that the system created for us to think that life is over. But life is not over when you retire. It just means that you're no longer hustling to make a living anymore. I have people that have retired at 40 years old and they're living their lives. They're traveling every quarter. They have houses in different areas of the country. Retirement is not about stopping living and just sitting up in a rocking chair somewhere the way they teach us. Retirement means you're financially free.
Right.
So maybe that's a better way to put it.
Yeah.
You're financially free.
I'm financially free. I'm financially free. Say it and believe it. Well, a lot of times we talk about what we don't have and what we don't want. Say what you want. Shout what you want.
Yeah, and that if you click that picture there with the lady with the yellow on, that'll take you over to the site to hear more about stepping into your best self. and what
And
that
Rhonda,
program looks like.
You also have that application on your page. The questionnaire is also on there.
Yep. When you apply, that's the questionnaire that'll walk you through the questions about your subconscious that we'll tackle in your first free session there. So that's how that works.
Yeah.
I was what Mama had said, there's something I say every day. Like I tell myself that money comes to me easily and effortlessly, that it comes from the north, the south, the east, and the west, and that I also have the wisdom and discernment to manage it properly. I had to put that on there because we could say money will show up all the time, and then what we do, we don't take care of it the way it's supposed to be taken care of.
And we spend it and go get stuff.
So I want to make sure that I have wisdom. What you say,
Yeah.
Mama?
She said we spend it or we spend it. I have to agree.
Yeah. Well,
as soon as we get it, it's hot like, let me go get that. My weakness is food. Now that's what
That's that tourist talking over there. That of course your weakness is food.
Yeah, you know. So yes, but here's the deal though. What I got smart. I like the Alfredo sauce at Olive Garden. Now you'll buy it in a jar all day. You'll never get that same taste, baby. When you make it at home, find what you like and then begin to use your recipes. And I'm laughing at on TikTok. Oh, this is a recipe on TikTok. You got to cook at home that you want. When's the last time you cooked something out the cookbook?
I saw
and
you
how
post
many
that.
things have you used? Like maybe one or two. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I do. I've gone online and I may say, I may see somebody that I admire. And I'll say, I'll tell myself, I said, I'm going to meet so-and-so one day. There's a woman that lives in California. I was like, dang, I don't know how I'm going to meet her, but I'm going to meet her. She ended up having to close her mother's house after her mother passed, and she was not too far from my sister. And I was visiting my sister at the time. Lord have mercy. I called her. I said, I'm coming to meet you. And we got to meet. There's people that I've seen that I said I want to dance with. I saw Onyx online. Next thing I know, this brother is in my house. He is at my house with my husband and met this guy. So we can do a lot of things. I remember the first time I was buying my
Yes.
And when I got my first car, and I got my my car note, and it was $3,000. I was like, man, I ain't gonna never pay this. I did. I got the paper from the bank saying this is your car now.
Yeah.
So your story is really similar to mine. I picked up a book at Peace, one of the first sister circles at Peace did over when Sheila had the loft. We had a loft that was totally awesome. Awesomeness was happening up in there. And she had these books over there, and I picked up that Heal Thyself book from Queen of Fool, and I was like, you know what? I would love to meet this woman one day. That was in July. That October, Queen of Fool was at True Bookstore in Northland. Y'all remember Northland?
Yeah.
Got to get a Costco over where Northland is right now. Who knew? But I met that woman in person like 3 months later, just because I said, you know what? I want to meet her. So I'm finding myself, I have to be careful with my thoughts because as soon as I think it, stuff is showing up and it shows up quickly. I'm like, you know what? That's why I have that money mantra. I have to say that because I'm like, it's literally coming from everywhere. I'd be like, oh, I didn't know that was there. Okay, somebody wants to buy this. Okay, that's great. You want to do? Okay, you gotta. Okay, and it comes fast when you get in that line. It comes.
Yes, it does. It does. I have a lot of clients that'll tell me that they can manifest stuff like that, but they can't manifest the stuff that they really want. And I don't know if there's anybody on the call that can say, hey, yeah, I can manifest this because, you don't even think about it again. Once you say, hey, I want to meet that person, it's done and over with. But you're thinking about your money all the time. But you're thinking about how much you don't have more than you think about is coming to you. And so you're always going to manifest the thing that you, number one, put the greatest energy into. And number two, the thing that you're thinking about all the time. Those things that you just put into the universe and let it go, there's no resistance to allow it to come to you. So that's again why those subconscious thoughts get in the way and we end up stuck in those spaces, because even though the opportunity may show itself, if you subconsciously don't believe it, or if you're subconsciously in that lack space, you really don't think it's come, that's what you're manifesting. Because we creating it all, but just based on what you're really thinking about, where you really are. And in those spaces where it's like, hey, I could do this. it happens. But when you really don't believe it, that happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I recreated what we had for dinner at the party on Friday night. I spent all day in the kitchen cutting up stuff, and I created more vegetables than a whole big. So I got vegetables for the rest of the week, but I recreated it. RJ didn't like, because he doesn't like couscous. So I'm wondering what rice can I get, because he'll eat the rice. Because I figure I can make him a burrito with the rice, and I have some chicken and the vegetables. So that's what I'm gonna do for that. What else did I want to say? Yeah, I remember, I've told this story before. I remember when Sheena went to Waldorf, and I was $1,500 behind in her tuition, and they were saying she couldn't walk across the stage if I didn't, alleviate some of that bill. And I just took a deep breath and I said, I didn't come this far for my daughter not to walk across the stage with her classmates. And I told strategic people who came into, and that this is what was going on. I told a parent that we had never had a conversation other than, hi, how you doing? In the whole 6, 7 years my daughter was there. And the lady that I worked with, I told her, and the next thing I knew, because I said it and I let it go. I didn't worry about it. I just, whoever spirit told me to share it with, that's who I shared it with. Next thing I know, an anonymous person paid off $1,000 of that debt.
Oh, what a beautiful testimony. Wow.
Yeah. So, and Sheena and Richard are going to the Academy in the Woods to check it out.
Yeah.
Because RJ looked at the video, and Waldorf was good for Sheena, but RJ is a boy, he's a Gemini, and he needs more.
Right.
He needs more stimulus.
Right. The one thing they don't have is sports, though. So you gotta be mindful of that. But they're one thing I like about that school, when you walk into their school, all their what do you call not the ELA, okay, how's the building set up? All the art classes and computer and music and everything is on the first floor. Their structured classes, like your English language arts and science and math, are on the second floor. And so that let me know that that's the focus. The children's art is splattered all over the doors and walls and lockers. And they have drama. They have a group, that the school music group and dance. They have a school group and also a group that goes out and performs. And I think they're paid. So the children have businesses. This place is that for youth. But if you want sports, that's gonna have to happen somewhere else. But they are I used to pick this school. I told her, she was like, I don't want to go here anymore. I want to go to another school. So I said, give me 3 choices. She didn't need no 3 choices. She knew where she wanted to go. And it was far, far away from us. I was like, God, how are we going to get through this drive? And so because she had another friend, her friends went there and told her she needs to come. And so the dad took the kids, and mama had picked them up. Baby, that right there. We need to join on teams and get together. If we're having financial trouble and we need to go to Costco, let's share and get a card together and go shop together. It's bulk. You can't eat some of that stuff will go bad before you, even when you go to Easter Market. Share.
Right. And Danyelle, what's that space that's on Wednesdays that's half off? Tell the group.
Westbourne Market. It's in Dearborn. It's on Wyoming and Warren.
Oh, come on! No, it's Eastbourne. It's Eastbourne. That's
Wyoming. It's
Wyoming and University. It's Wyoming and University.
Yeah. No, it's on Wyoming and Warren. It's right there on Wyoming and Warren, like across the street is Taco Bell.
I'll pull it up. I go all the time.
I haven't been.
Okay.
The only thing is, since I've moved to Southfield, I kind of do things more in the area where I'm at, and then I'm working long hours on Wednesday. But I know in the back of my head, if I'm off on a Wednesday, I know where to go. I know exactly where to
Yeah,
go.
that's just good for everybody to know. Some
I'm
discounts.
gonna pull it up. I'll pull it up.
And well, I'm gonna, since we're talking about manifestation, there's tools out there, like you said, for manifestation. I recently cleaned out a storage unit, and I have like all my vision boards since I started doing vision boards. I swear to goodness, seeing exactly what you want. And I do mine yearly. Every year I do a different vision board, and some stuff is still manifesting off of old stuff. And I'd be like, whoa. And I'm like, I put everything that's in my head that I want on this vision board for the year. And since I've started doing that, I've seen things manifest. And I went and actually found an old one. This is an old one. This is from 2017. And I don't know if you can't see it, but you remember when I talked about that Vitamix? That Vitamix is on the vision board. I talked about traveling, and I don't know if this is the one that got Miami on it, but I just put different cities on it. One of them was Miami. Tell me why my aunt won a trip to Miami, go see Mary J. Blige and her favorite artist, Maxwell. And guess which her favorite niece she took to go see for a one-day trip. Like stuff like I'm saying, like I'm serious. I felt Maxwell, and if we left Detroit for one day just to go see a concert. I'm like, how can I manifest more of this into my life like this? That was amazing. And I sit down, and from the different teachers that taught me how to do this, I would sit down and visualize on my vision board. Now, some of them haven't happened. Some stuff didn't happen. Some stuff did. Some stuff is still manifesting. And this is the time of year where, I start getting my boards together for the new year. Where it's synergy. We'd be like, what am I focused on this year? Like I said, this one is all one from 2017. I think we are going to do a vision board workshop because it just gives you a chance to actually get your stuff. And I put on there everything. I'm getting my finances together. I usually do finance, fitness, health and wellness, spirituality, travel, and it's one more section. Career. There we go. I try to do the 5 pillars for me of what I need to focus on for the next year coming up.
Yeah, we used to do them every quarter with the classes, with the goddess classes. I think, Evelyn, you were in one of those vision board classes, right? Yeah, that's how I ended up down here. I didn't know it was going to be Florida. I didn't put a space on it. I just wanted to have a space on the water. I wanted to wake up and see the sunrise every morning, and listen to the birds. And here we are. And I didn't plan it. I was down here with a friend, and Spirit said I was home, and my kids are grown. I had that big old house. What am I gonna keep doing that for? I sold it and moved down here. So
it was a beautiful house. I enjoyed being over there. Well, the art festival was this weekend, and I ended up taking RJ to the school, and the vision boards came. I'm not the vision boards, but the portable altars came up. That conversation with the parents, and she was saying, well, we used to get together before the pandemic, and that would be a really good thing to do. And I was like, okay. And then I go off on that tangent. See, I'm going to collect all the stuff. I've already got the wallpaper samples, and so that would be nice. That would be nice to make the whole altar, from beginning to end.
Yeah, well, put it together. You thinking about it, create it. It just takes continue the steps. The community still needs those things. The vision board parties, the altar, understanding beyond just creating the altar, but recognizing it's a subconscious space for heaven and earth to come together. It's where manifestation happens. It's where your faith is demonstrated. If you can't sit at your altar every morning and be committed to that, how are you going to be committed to anything else? You can't commit to sitting at God's foot every day. What? And that may not be that kind of space. I'm thinking ahead. Head altar is her yoga board, her yoga mat. She there every day, committed.
And I did see you this morning, Mama. I was drying my hair this morning. So I would have been joining you for the 5 rights, but I saw you live. I just want to let you know I saw you. That's all.
But that's what I'm going to, that's what I'm saying. Your altar doesn't have to be this spiritual block that you got your crystals and all that. No, your altar is you actually, but showing up in those spaces and being committed to the one thing is how you end up committed to everything and how you see it happening in other phases of your life. Just coming back to what we've been talking about from the beginning. So
that's what the
5 rights
Elizabeths have
not
been
in
for
one
me.
space.
That's what it is. This is the space the Elizabeths have been, because I have been committed to this group for a few months now. And it's like, y'all got, okay, I gotta go, y'all. Yeah.
Yep. And if you can do that one thing, then you can take that same commitment on to something else.
Everything else. And I'm ready to, yep.
I think I know definitely for me, it's definitely, I realize it's dance. It's definitely my altar space is dance. And I'm like, I have to, I am finding a way to commit myself to make sure that I get 20 to 30 minutes of that dance or that yoga space to make sure that I'm centered and I'm grounded. And it's funny, and I say that because Rhonda, you like me, we're into different MLMs, and they all have different ways of teaching you how to, better yourself, market yourself, whatever. One thing about Tava, they have these things called Wealth Building Wednesdays. I like Wealth Building Wednesdays because you never know what gems you're going to pick up on the Facebook Live. They had me do belly dance last Wednesday. And it's a belly dance because we're a health and wellness. We have a health and wellness company. We have these great products, but these products are going to work great, but you still got to get up and move. Okay. Let's just be honest.
We need it all.
And so they had me join out of that Wealth Building Wednesday. All of a sudden we have this coming Wednesday, we have Wednesday After Dark. So they want me to do a full belly dance class online Wednesday after dark. I told myself I want to get incorporate belly dance into everything that I do and somehow get paid for it. Now all of a sudden it's happening. I also have a sister I started teaching. I did a class with tweens after school program for an hour. She got me doing another one in another school next Thursday. So I'm sitting here like, I did put it out there and now it's come back. And like you said, I'm helping people. It's like, okay, I'm just gonna go with the flow. We're gonna manage this and go with the flow and make it work. Because a lot of times you feel like I gotta work, just do whatever I need to do, which sometimes we do. But then when you're passionate about something, just put it out there in the universe and let it work itself. Because my friend was like, you said you wanted to get into Detroit public schools. You want to get belly dance and yoga. I was like, yeah, and I had no idea. Oh, okay.
And that's how it works. When you are standing in that space where you know who you are, you know what your gifts are, and you know what you want in that, those things manifest without you trying to. It's the stuff that we trying to make happen. Like I think it was Het that said when you're trying to compare yourself to somebody else and what somebody else is doing. And I could do that. And I should do that. Let me take a program and learn that, or let me go buy this. No, just stay within your own wheelhouse of your own passions, your own gifts, and you'll be blessed heavily for it. And it'll come out of nowhere, absolutely nowhere, nothing you have to do. Yes, you still got to hustle to make your money, but your greatest blessings are going to come without your efforts, as long as you're in alignment with what you're supposed to be doing. So that's a great example of that, because that's the way it happens.
I'm like, she was like, hey, are you available next Thursday? Yeah. Oh, okay. And it took me talking to my mentor in Tava. She was like, yeah, you said you wanted to do that. Yeah, I did. I forgot I said that. I said I wanted to get to the Detroit public school teachers. That's what I said. But vicariously, that's happening. So I'm just like, okay. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns? I still feel the wheels of the head turning. I can feel it. Because this is a great conversation to have. Like I said, when Spirit told me to ask you to join the show, I had no idea what we were going to talk about. Because like I said, we are so multifaceted. But like I said, you sitting on the beach in Florida in the sunlight, looking absolutely beautiful and radiant. I'm like, I'm just gonna throw something out there, just that maybe, we just weekend trip to Florida. I'll cast my head out there.
Please do. I do have a spiritual retreat for solos where you can come down. We get beach therapy. We do the meditation. We can create those
Yes.
spaces of commitment for you, and you can go back refreshed, regenerated, restored. So let's do it whenever you're ready. This was great, ladies. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, we are so glad to have you on. I'm so glad. I'm like, I love your energy. I love your spirit. I love the work that you do. And like I said, you're an excellent educator. Excellent. Where I've been to several of your essential oil workshops. And I've been to, you've hosted something for when we did everything about the yoni. We was over on Jefferson when you did it, and how you incorporate teaching women how to get in touch with themselves, know themselves. I mean, you're the only person I know that had a specular kit. I have one to actually go deep and see what your insides look like. Your doctor shouldn't be the only one to know what your insides look like.
Yep, you're supposed to know what your insides look like normally too. All of you.
Like,
that's the divine union. If you don't know your body, and look, let's not go there because we'll start a whole nother program. But how somebody else gonna have you orgasm if you don't know how to make yourself orgasm?
Ooh.
And that's not just in the bed. We talking about in life. Okay? Life should be orgasmic. That dance should be orgasmic. You driving to your client should be orgasmic. Helping people should be orgasmic. But if you can't do it for you, what you think he gonna do? But we're not gonna go there. You know, we can go in a lot of different directions. I love y'all because yes, it's.
Well, you have to
What
understand.
do I do? I work with yourself.
We say that nothing is off the table. Nothing is off the table.
But
we can't save that. We can save that for a later date. We really can.
Yes, we can come back and talk about female living an orgasmic life. How about we put it like that? And we start with the yoni and we move out from there.
Can we do our play, vagina monologue, and do the play and everything?
That's important, right?
Is that February, Mama Het?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all have a date for it? Well, maybe I can plan to come up there. Get in the audience for that one.
No, actually, we're gonna.
Well, it's probably gonna be Zoom.
It's gonna be, yeah.
Go ahead, Queen.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's even better. I don't have to worry about a plane ticket.
Yeah.
You can still come business though.
I mean, I'll be there on the 20th. Actually, I'll be there on the 20th. So I'm coming to see you.
Actually, we'd love to have you at our Elizabeth Visionary Conference, which is the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th February, leaving on the 5th.
And
that'll be at a hotel. That'll be physically all of us coming together. But I'll get more information for all of you sisters to block that off. Working on the embassy suite in Livonia. As soon as I get off this, I'll be calling to secure that. That's all of us coming together, about 100 women.
Oh, that'll be beautiful. I can't wait. Send me the info though.
We will. And just know that, you are an Elizabeth officially. Like anyone that joins us is an Elizabeth. And you definitely spark, I'll say this, you definitely spark passion and purpose in me. You really do. And I know you do on a lot of other women, but I don't know how many women come back and say like, hey, you really, I just have to say thank you. And I want to talk about this because if I'm not mistaken, there was a group of powerful sisters that went through a sacred woman, if I'm not mistaken, went through a sacred woman ceremony, sacred woman, period. And I believe it was you. I know, if I'm not mistaken, you went through it with Goddess Shu. Because I look at all of you and I'm like, all of you have done some powerful things together individually, but there was something that you guys did, rites of passage and something like that together years ago. And I'm just sitting here looking like, it seems like each and every last one of you is powerfully stepped in your purpose. Since then, did I do that correctly? Like, did you?
Yeah, okay. You did.
I can't remember all of the guys, but I
Yeah.
know you. I know Goddess Shoe was one of them, and I'm just like, I'm sitting back blown away. Like, wait a minute, they did the work themselves years ago. Now look at now.
Yeah, it works if you work it. All the magic works if you work it, but just remember, you the magic. It's you. It's us. You just gotta trust yourself and trust God, spirit, divine, whatever you call our grand all of all things. Just be you and tap in. That's it. That's it. But thank you, Danyelle. Thank you. You guys instill passion and inspiration into me too. You know, going back to what Het said about knowing the others that have gifts for you to tap into, like that dance space that Het, Danyelle, us on the cause dancers. I think it's just the two of you for right now that I know of. Like that space that you both are in very much inspires me, so much so I'm about to take a type of belly dance, flamingo dancing, because my history is gypsies. So me reading tarot cards, all that came from my grandma. She taught me when I was 7 years old how to do that, but it's because she's a gypsy. And so gypsies dance flamingo, not traditional jumping around on the floor flamingo, but the fans and the tamarines and all the rest of that. So you guys inspire me. So I'm about to take these classes down here with these Latinas and get some of that history back. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I love it.
I love flamingo dance.
Beautiful.
Me
And
too.
tap too. Tap dance too. I like tap too.
But just again, recognizing who you are, and me accepting that came from doing a DNA test. Recognize I'm an Afro-Caribbean. So my ancestors came from the west coast of Africa and came down here into Cuba. I'm like, oh, that's why my daughter named Jasmine, and she did turn around and name my grandson Diego, and they look like little Mexican babies.
Yeah,
So just learning all those things. It's just beautiful. Thank you for your inspiration too.
I've done the DNA test myself, and for years I've always said, okay, I work like a Jamaican, I work like a Jamaican, and then I find out I actually have family that literally.
Of course.
Jamaica. I was like, oh wow, and then really got into the Nigerian connection. If you guys really want to give a gift for somebody this Christmas, do the DNA test. The DNA test from Ancestry go on sale right around Christmas for half off. Buy a test for you, buy a test for a friend. I know my sister-in-law got one for herself and her son, and they're starting to do the process of actually finding out where they are and they start giving gifts that's going to actually start, educating people about themselves. I'm just giving a suggestion. I'm just saying. And like I said,
it's a good one.
Huh?
It's a good one. People that don't know their paternal parents or who are adopted also can find their family through that too. So it's a wonderful gift. It's a great idea.
Oh wow. And like I said, you find out more about yourself. I found out more about myself and why I am the way that I am, and who, the bloodline and everything. I love doing the genealogy side and finally finding out my family tree. It's been an amazing journey, and I know I have to do a show about that, because I'm like I said, we were stripped to know where we come from, but guess what? They took records. They got sensors.
They do. They have records, and your DNA got records too. All of us aren't from Africa. Some of us are from right here.
I got 1% Filipino. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I
got Asian in me too.
I know the history, but I'm like, Filipino. Wow, okay.
Where do Filipinos come from? Africa. So is it really Filipino, or is their DNA really African? So you have to also recognize who's doing the deciphering of that information and where they're coming from in their spaces of sharing. That's his story, not ours.
So, and speaking on that, I noticed that a lot of people that thought that they had native, indigenous, and it's not really speaking to that. I have an issue with those DNA tests that are ignoring that.
Yeah, again, if it don't speak to their story,
design, they get, because I know that if you have indigenous ancestry, you will get you can get money for college and other perks. So some things are left out so that you don't have the, so you got to be mindful of that. I like the idea of the DNA, but who am I giving my DNA to? I'll let somebody else do it and I'll branch off. But a good way to do family history is when you have those obituaries from your family, you get who's mother and father and who the siblings are. So that's a good way too to do that.
It is.
Yeah, but I will say this: when you do that, go on to Ancestry, because I use Ancestry to do my research, and I compare it to those census. Compare it to those census. In those census, people list what they are. So especially when you get to like around 1860, they do have the slave records now available when they listed everybody who was on that plantation. So for me, there was a story that everybody said that we got Cherokee. My uncle wrote a nice long story about us having Cherokee and everything like that. And when I compare to where my grandparents were, my great grandparents and everything, where they were in the census, they're listed as African American or Negro. They're listed as Black. And I'm like,
I can jump in there though, because again, that's the system. I'm down here in Florida, and I have come to meet a lot of the natives here and heard the stories of what they did to the natives that were here in Florida. They were African Latinas, if you will, that were taken into slavery right here in Florida. So they weren't calling them Cherokees. They weren't calling them Lakutas or whatever the hell these different names are. They called them all Black because we are all Black people.
3/5.
Yeah, so it's not accurate for that. They're gonna call us slaves.
But it's a good start. It's a
great start. It's a great start, but don't dismiss the fact that he's saying you Cherokee, because natives were Black. If they didn't turn light skin like what you see in these pictures until the colonists came and started mating with them. Everybody was dark. Look at India. Everybody was pitch black with straight hair until the caste system where they started mating with them, and the north half of India is all light skinned people and the south half is all dark, because when they stopped that whole caste system, they stopped incorporating. And that's where it's also poverty in the lower half of India and wealth in the upper half. So the whole world was Black before they came out of the Caucasus Mountains.
Tell it now, Ron.
I'm sorry. Y'all know I get passionate because we was everywhere. Everywhere. Look at the East Islands, those big, gigantic mammoth heads with big, stupid nostrils. From where? Oh, they was white too? No, we was Black everywhere. Everywhere.
So I need to find somebody that's into genealogy, because like when you do the research and you see everything is Black, I'm still trying to figure out where the Cherokee story came from. Because I am looking at the pictures and I am looking at the censuses. I'm looking like, okay, where is it? Because I do want to go. If it's true, I do want to go after that money, but you have to prove it. You have to prove
You do, and they not that information they're not gonna release because they're not trying to give us anything. However, if you do want to do some more research that's off of those books and off of those public places, Michael Imhotep, Frank Young. I'll send you, there are two Black historians that are always putting information out there about our past, our recent and early past going back.
Mama Yaba had their website. She pulled up their website and had it on one of our shows. I remember it's a Wednesday show.
Yeah, if y'all pull that up, that'd be great. Yeah, because the information's out there. It's not going to be on those public websites. It ain't going to be on Ancestry. They're not trying to give us our props for nothing. As far as they're concerned, they discovered America, remember?
Right. But you know what? For Thanksgiving, I was watching a post, I think on Instagram, and an indigenous woman came on. She said, what you can do is go online. I forgot the website, but you can look it up. You could Google it. There's a website, she said, to go to and look where the different tribes were in the country, and you'll find what tribe is your people. Because
that's a good one.
They show the map of the indigenous map of America, not America, well, America, whatever. And they show where they live. Now, Haru's father did Ancestry, and they have Chickasaw and Choctaw, and I know that ours is Blackfoot because my uncle did the Ancestry. He did the walking, and he didn't do the blood thing. He went and researched in the different states and stuff. But he did. But Blackfoot is definitely in our family. So yeah, go look at the map. Look at the indigenous map of the country. There it is. The indigenous map of the country, and see where your people were and migrated from, and you'll see where the not plantations, excuse me, the reservations. I did not mean to say that doggone word.
Plantations too, though, because that's where they were taking the people from. They weren't,
Yeah.
all them slave owners couldn't afford that ship money to ship nobody over here. They was grabbing people out the bush and making them slaves. They didn't have to go nowhere. We was right here. We didn't speak their language. We didn't have guns. We had none of that. They said, down here we used to be tree people, and it used to be nothing but forest from here all the way to New Orleans. And we would climb in the trees, and they cut all the trees down to attack us because we didn't know what to do after they did that. Like the stories that I'm getting from here, I live in St. Pete, so this is sacred lands. It's 11 Indian mounds here. And these stories and stuff are freaking amazing. Like you wouldn't know unless you're a part of the community, because it's not in no books nowhere. But it's crazy the amount of terror they brought to this land they got here to claim it as their own.
This is good information to know. This is such good information to know.
Interesting.
And then
what
also,
do they do? They send,
go ahead, mate.
they send the missionaries, and then the Mason. Wait, they send the missionaries to come and check things out, and then they send, what's the other folks with the M name? The ones that come.
You said it right. The Masons come to build on top of it. It's crazy.
And the mercenaries to come.
Mercenaries, yes.
That's it. The missionaries and the mercenaries. That's it.
It's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, that stuff you're not gonna find that online. But the stories are passed down. The trauma that we've experienced, which is once again goes back to why we worried about them taking it from us. Why we scared to get things, because they've been taken from us since we met them, and that's in our DNA too.
It's my birthright to be here. I ain't got nothing to do with all your other stuff. It's my birthright. God said I'm to be here. So all that other stuff.
Yeah. Wow, y'all, we done went everywhere. I love y'all. This is amazing.
This is the kind of conversation I generally have with a friend sitting there on the phone. It's like you end up for 2 hours, you end up going all over the place and then covered everything. And it feels special because it's like I said, we are as women, we're multifaceted. We're not just one thing. And it gives you key points to think about. We talked about manifestation. We talked about finances. Everything that concerns around finances, like, the health and wellness of it all. And it's definitely going to make me sit back, really look at things and rethink things. And I already know it's time for me to do a fast. I already know that. So I'm like, okay, Danyelle, you know what you need to do. You know how to, okay, great. I'm ready to go to that next level. And I said on the show a few weeks ago, I'm in a special particular place where I'm transforming and going to the next level. That also means being around the people who do, who don't mind saying, hey, this is my income statement. This is what I did for my business. This is how I did my business. This is what's going on. You sitting there like, okay, I feel uncomfortable because you got your stuff together. But then again, I need to be uncomfortable because where I'm at, I don't want to be complacent. So I'm like, I got to step it up to the next level. And it's like, okay, I'm in a space of uncomfortableness right now. And I've come to embrace that because I know it's taking me to the next level. So I'm like, okay, it's time to get everything together. There's a lot to think about business wise. I got to get my accounts together. Got to get the household account together so that money can go into the household account. And that's all that's in there. It's just household bills. So that stuff can come out and be automatic. I definitely need to get my LLC. So I got to sit down and prioritize my checklist, especially this by being December. This is the month for us to get everything together for stepping into the new year. So it's a lot going on. I'm giving people popcorn and wine for Christmas. That's it. Because I'm like, I got other stuff that I need to think about to get myself so I can step into 2023 powerfully. And I think as Elizabeth, it'd be great for us to come together and get all this stuff together so we can step into 23 powerfully, because we got some things to do, and we gotta have our ish together. I know I do. I don't know if anybody else does. You want to say something, Queen of Junie?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Goddess, what is your is there your price for the weekend for one-on-one?
Oh, to come down here?
Yeah.
1,500, everything included. Food. I mean, you got to buy your own plane ticket, which is usually 100 or 200. If you get it from Spirit at least a month in advance, it's less than 100. But 1,500, all your food, your room and board. Come on down, sis.
And how long is that from what to what? Is that
Thursday to Monday or Thursday to Tuesday, depending on your flight. But come on Thursday. So Thursday is a travel day. Friday, we get up, starting with meditation. And look, we can even join Mama Het for her 5 rights, but I do 5 rights every morning as well. I just don't do it publicly because I don't do it at the same time every day. But we get up with our meditation, 5 rights, healthy green foods. If you want to fast, whatever is on that fast. There's botanical gardens. Usually it's dolphins floating out here. So we'll sit out here and do some meditation as well. We'll go to the beach. There's a specific ritual that I do at the ocean. You all know how Yemaya is. That's completely unnameable, unspeakable, but you'll have your own space, and whatever happens in that time will be there. And then we just visit some sacred areas around here. And you go back home with the program, the same thing that you see on that website about the releasing and recovery. So we'll go through a lot of that journaling and the subconscious work together while we're together.
Mm-hmm. That 3 days? So
3 or 4. It depends on you. Thursday to Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
And I always tell people Tuesdays, for any of y'all who are traveling, for whatever reason, Tuesdays are the cheapest day of the week for tickets.
Yep.
I don't know what they do, but Tuesdays it'd be half off. Just like I guess at the produce store, half off on Wednesdays, you get half off tickets on Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay. Well, it's been a joy, honey, having you on, and
thank you, Queen.
Those of you who are just jumping in, you missed something, but you can always get it on the
Replay.
Yeah, because we do post the shows online.
Okay, where are they? Where? Because you guys are awesome. I've seen the advertisements, but I've never seen any replays.
Mm-hmm. Oh well,
so I'm gonna start posting back the replay for this show. Now that you mentioned that, I'm gonna go back and here's the replay so you guys can see it. And I thank you that you said that you've seen it, because I say that because I'm the social media guru that's helping everybody push the business out there, because I see your business all the time. I see your posts, I see the everything, and it's always uplifting and encouraging, and I kind of keep up with everything that you're doing. So people are watching us and they want to know, hey, what's going on, and we got to let them know what's going on. If we don't post, people don't know. So thank you for letting me know that I got to post a replay so that people can see. If they miss something, they can go back and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome. And a lot of stuff that you see me do is automated. So Facebook allows you to schedule stuff. So I'll take one day out of the week and post everything. And it looks like I'm there all the time. The algorithm is working. So it looks like I'm always posting, but that stuff I respond to. If you comment on it, I'll get those notifications to respond. But yeah, I'm only posting stuff maybe once a week.
I know the Virgo in you is doing that. I know the Virgo in you was doing that. I kind of knew that.
Well, we're in the
schedule it.
Yeah, we're beefing up our social media and the automatic things, and but you can find us on ElizabethVisionaryConference.org. I'm sorry, but also we are in the midst. I'm actually I'm on like 1 day finished with it being sisters, that the website would be Grand Rising Elizabeth
Okay.
.org or something, so that we're saying, we're not saying something different to send people to the website. We also have our own Grand Rising Elizabeth group on Facebook, and so we will post that in that space as well. So
Okay, had put the website, so I have that. So thank you.
Thank you.
And again, we'll be in contact with you about the conference in February, the first weekend in February.
Okay, I'll be there. I don't have anything scheduled that far out, so I'll block those days off. You said the first weekend, so I should be able to block that off.
I say.
Thank you again for this time and this space to share with you all. It's been beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Do we have any more questions or comments for Goddess Rhonda here from anybody?
I think this would be a good time for everyone to those who have not said Grand Rising to us to come, speak, and those who have been here through the whole thing to give a word or a sentence of what you got today. I got the opening for freedom. That's what I got. Freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom. So I'm just going to go through and call your name. That's the easiest way. So if you would all unmute yourself so that when I say your name, you can go ahead and share. And I'm going by what's up here on my board. So Bridget, you want to start us off? If you're not in contract mode with somebody. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and let's go.
Okay.
Mama Evelyn.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to get busy, get down to work.
Great.
Everything.
Mama Head.
Awareness.
Sister Deetra.
Oh, Goddess Rhonda, I truly appreciate you. I'm so glad we met before, and I'm thankful. And I love the view because it looks like I'm looking out my window, my bedroom, my house window. I have a lake too, so I understand the beauty of that. But thank you. Just beauty. Beauty would be my word.
Ebony.
Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you guys for having a space for me to join.
Ashe.
Hi.
Lolly.
Grand Rising, y'all. I am multitasking. However, what I did catch was amazing. I love hearing that. I'm interested to hear more about that trip, so I have to definitely tap in for that, and just about our history and everything else. That was really cool. Just to have that conversation, to be listening to that conversation as well. So thank you. That is all.
Reverend Omani.
Grand Rising Elizabeth, I am left with manifestation time.
Manifestation, okay.
Ashe. Star. Oh, okay. I hear the toilet flushing. So.
Oh Lord.
Jackie.
You always catch her with it. Jackie. Hey, sweetie. Okay.
I didn't hear you, sweetheart. I heard some other noise. Could you share again, Jackie?
She was having some interference. She said she'll come back.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let's try this again. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yeah,
Yes.
there
Yeah.
you go. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of something and I wasn't gonna speak and I'm getting dressed, but I wanted to just thank you so much for the conversation and I'm gonna definitely check the replay. I also want to acknowledge that I think Bridget did unmute, so I invite her if she just wanted to unmute and say something, that'd be great. But we know that she's probably doing her other thing. But I just wanted to say thank you very much, Grand Rising to everyone, and thank you. And I look forward to catching the replay. Bye.
Mhm, mhm. Ashe, Ashe. Goddess, Rhonda, you want to say something?
Yes, I just want to thank you for allowing me in the space. My word for today was community and the oneness of all, and how every little piece fits together, just like each of you fit together. So thank you for inviting me to the space, and I'm grateful to be here.
Mm-hmm. And Bridget, are you able to come on yet?
I can make it really quick. I can't come on video, but my word is village.
Yeah.
Because we all in this community are a village. And from that village, they've always said it takes a village to raise a child. Well, when we look back at the African tribes of old, all the women came together, the young and the old. And it didn't matter what age you were. When you reached that certain age, you became a village. And every woman helped every woman. And that is what we have here. So my word is village.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ashe.
Ashe. I
Blooming
want to.
Lotus. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my word for today. I'm gonna say foresight. That's been the message from yesterday, and that's the message for today. Foresight. Sitting down and taking focus and foresight. And focus and foresight is what I'm writing all these down. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Goddess Rhonda, for accepting the call and being the wonderful educator that you are. I'm definitely going to have you on for some future shows because, like you said, we got some things to talk about. And I want to thank each and every last one of you for joining the show. This is the Monday morning motivational sister circle that definitely gets my week started. And I know since we started doing this since April, things have definitely shifted. And I want to say thank you to each and every last one of you. I want to say we're definitely gonna make sure that the replay is up. But as soon as I get off of here, I'm gonna go straight to Instagram and do what I call my afterglow, which is like about a 5-minute overview of what we just talked about. So you can follow me on Instagram. You can share it on Instagram and continue to share Elizabeth amongst your other sisters, your friends, your family. This is definitely a movement that we want to continue to grow. And so just share it, share the flyer, share the video, just share everything. And as we share each other and help uplift and grow each other. So I love each and every last one of you. And yes, I want to, Queen Aduna, you want to give us our closeout? I love how you do the closeout.
Yes. Let's hug ourselves. Mm-hmm. I don't see y'all hugging yourselves. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can y'all see me?
Yeah, we see you.
I'm seeing everybody. Mama Evelyn is just, are you frozen? No. There you are now. Okay. You were frozen. I'm like, why?
Everybody hugging.
Okay. Everybody hug yourself. And hug the world. And throw out love, sprinkles of love and peace and prosperity and joy and health and all that stuff. So much, so much, so much. Have a wonderful day.
Love you guys. Bye.